All right, so now we're going to take a look at some special cases of curve fitting, linear curve fitting. Um, First, we're going to take a look at this example. It says, find an equation for the line that find an equation for the line that passes through the point negative 6, 4 and is parallel to this line with this given equation. Write the equation in standard form. The first thing I want to show you is that this line does not pass through this point. So this line, this equation is not the answer to the question. As a matter of fact, no form of this equation answers this question because this line indeed does not pass through this point. So we're talking about a completely different equation than this one. Okay? We need to come up with the equation of that line. The reason they gave me this information is because by telling me that the lines are parallel, I know that parallel lines have the same slope. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this theorem, which is the point slope form, in order to come up with the equation of a line. The point slope form will always allow me to come up with the equation of a line, except in the case of a vertical line. So this says if a line passes through point x1, y1. Well, we have a point negative 6, 4, which means x1 is negative 6, y1 is 4, and has slope m. Well, we don't know the slope because it wasn't given to us explicitly, but the slope is implied to be the same as the slope of this line because they're parallel lines. So as long as I have a point, which I do, and the slope of the line, then the point slope form of the line of the equation of the line is given by y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where x and y are the only variables, y1, m, and x1 are all numbers that I'm going to plug in. So I just need to find m. Well, I'm given the information here that the two lines are parallel. So this line here has the same slope as the line that I want to create the equation of. So I need to know the equation of that line. So I'm going to take 2x minus 3y equals 15, and I'm going to put it in slope-intercept form so I can identify the slope. So I subtract 2x from both sides. I get negative 3y is equal to negative 2x plus 15. And then I divide everything by negative 3. These would cancel out, leaving me y is equal to 2/3 x minus 5. And all I need from this equation was the slope. The slope that I need to use for my line, the m that they're talking about here, is 2/3 because parallel lines have the same slope. This line has slope 2/3, so my line also has slope 2/3. Now that I have the slope, and I also have this point, I know that x1 is equal to negative 6. That's the point, the x value of the point. And I also know that y1 is equal to 4. So I have everything I need to plug into this form right here. I have y1, I have m, and I have x1. So let's plug in. So the equation of the line is going to be y minus y1, which is 4, equals m, which is 2/3, times x minus x1, and x1 is negative 6. So I have an equation for my line already, but if you notice, the directions say to write the equation in standard form. So this is not the standard form, y minus 4 equals 2/3 times x plus 6. That's not the standard form. This is the point slope form. So I need to turn this into the standard form. And in order to turn it into the standard form, well, the standard form is this. The standard form is ax plus by equals c. This is standard form. And in order to put it in standard form, what I need to do is I need to first get rid of all the fractions. Then I need to put all the variable terms on the same side. And once I have the variable terms on the same side, I put the constant term on the other side. So let's go through and do that. So I have this thing, y minus 4 equals 2/3 times x plus 6. And the first thing I want to do is clear the fraction. So I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 3. What that does is on the right-hand side, the 3 here that I'm multiplying by and the 3 in the denominator of the fraction just cancel out, leaving me with this new equation, 3 times y minus 4 is equal to 2 times x plus 6. And the fractions are gone. Also, standard form doesn't have any parentheses, so I'm going to clear the parentheses by using the distributive property. So I'll distribute the 3 to get 3y minus 12, and I'll distribute the 2 to get 2x plus 12. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put all the variable terms on the same side and all the constant terms on the opposite side. So I'm going to subtract 3y from both sides so that all the variable terms will be on the right-hand side of the equation. So I subtract 3y from this side, and I subtract 3y from this side. Well, on the left side, the 3y and the negative 3y are like terms. I get negative 12 is equal to, on the right side, well, those aren't like terms, so I'm just going to write 2x plus 12 minus 3y. Now the last step is to move all the variable terms over to the other side, all the constant terms, sorry, over to the other side, the left side. So I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides to get rid of it on the right side, but I also have to subtract it from the other side. On the left-hand side, I'll have negative 24. On the right-hand side, I'll have 2x. These will cancel out, minus 3y. Now, because it's an equal sign, it doesn't matter which side I write each of the expressions on. So this means the same thing as 2x minus 3y equals negative 24. And this is the equation that I needed in standard form. ax plus by equals c. So this is the standard form of the equation that passes through the point negative 6 comma 4 and is parallel to this line. You notice they're not the same equation. So this is the equation I was being asked to find. All right, now here's another example. Find an equation of a line passing through point 4, negative 7 that is perpendicular now to the line 4x plus 3y equals 6. So the last problem, we had two lines that were parallel. In this problem, we have a line that is perpendicular to the line that I need to come up with the equation for. In either case, I mean, at any rate, we still need to find the slope and a point on the line. So I already have the point, x1 is 4, y1 is negative 7, but I need to find the slope. And I know that my line is perpendicular to the line 4x plus 3y equals 6, so I need to know the slope of that line. I can subtract 4x from both sides to get these canceling and get 3y is equal to negative 4x plus 6. Then I divide everything by 3, and I get y is equal to negative 4/3 x plus 2. Now, this line has slope negative 4/3. The line that I'm looking for is actually perpendicular to this line, and because it's perpendicular, the slope of the line that I'm looking for is going to be the opposite, meaning opposite in sign. So instead of negative, it's going to be positive. And it's also going to be the reciprocal. So instead of 4/3, I'm going to have 3/4. So when it's a perpendicular line that you're given the equation of, once you find the slope, you're going to take the opposite sign and flip it over. Opposite and reciprocal. Once you have all of that, we also know a point where x1 is equal to 4 and y1 is equal to negative 7. So we can plug all this into our point slope form to come up with an equation. We'll have y minus y1 is negative 7 equals m, which is 3/4 times x minus 4. All right, from here, well, let's just rewrite this. Instead of minus negative 7, we can write y plus 7 equals 3/4 times x minus 4. And from here, I want to put this in standard form. So to put this in standard form, what I want to do is I want to have it written as ax plus by equals c, right? So I want to clear the fractions first. So I'm going to take both sides and multiply them by the denominator of the slope. So I'm going to multiply the left-hand side by 4, y plus 7, and I'm going to multiply the right-hand side by 4, 3/4 times x minus 4. And just like before, the effect is that the 4's cancel out on the right side, leaving me 4 times y plus 7 equaling to 3 times x minus 4. And now, to put it in standard form, I once again, remember standard form is ax plus by equals c, which has no parentheses. So I'm going to clear the parentheses by distribution. 4y and then plus 28 is equal to 3x, and then that's going to be minus 12. Now I need all the terms that have variables to be on the same side. I'll put them both on the right side because I want to keep the coefficient of x positive. So I'm going to subtract 4y from both sides. Subtract 4y. This will cancel. I'll get 28 is equal to 3x minus 12 minus 4y. And then the last step is to add 12 to both sides. So plus 12 plus 12. I'll get, what's this, 40 is equal to 3x, and then these would cancel, minus 4y. Once again, it doesn't matter what side of the equal sign either of these expressions is on, so it'll be 3x minus 4y is equal to 40. And there's the standard form of the equation that they described. This equation has, this line has slope 3/4, which is the opposite reciprocal of the slope of the given line. And it also passes through the point 4, -7. So that's the equation that they were being asked for. Here's another example of a special case. We had the parallel case and the perpendicular case. In this case, they say find an equation for a horizontal line passing through point 4, -7. Write the equation in standard form. Well, horizontal lines, you notice in the previous cases, we weren't given the slope directly. We were given an implied slope, right? They implied the slope here by giving me an equation and telling me that my line was parallel, so I knew how to find the slope. Here, they gave me an equation and told me that my line was perpendicular, so I knew how to find the slope. In this case, they tell me the line is horizontal. Well, a horizontal line has slope 0. All horizontal lines have slope 0. And that's the information I need. So then I can use point slope form again. So I know slope is equal to 0, and I'm just going to plug everything I know in. X1 is 4 and Y1 is -7. So I'm just going to plug all that in. It's going to be Y minus Y1, which is -7, equals M, which is 0, times X minus 4. X1 is 4. Okay, well this says that Y plus 7 is equal to 0 times anything is just 0. So I get this equation. It doesn't involve the variable x. And what I want to do here is I want to put this equation in standard form. Standard form just means that both variable terms are on the same side. Ax plus by are the variable terms, and the constant is on the other side. Since I only have one variable term, that's going to stay on the left side. All I have to do is move the constant to the other side by subtracting 7 from both sides. So my equation in standard form is going to be y equals -7. So there you have it. This is the equation of the line described, horizontal line. And the last example, here's an example. Now instead of a horizontal line, we have find an equation for a vertical line passing through points 8, -9. All right? Write the equation in standard form also. Well, in the case of a vertical line, the slope of a vertical line is actually undefined. Now that creates a problem if we're trying to use point slope form, because point slope form, undefined is not a number, and in point slope form we actually have to put in a number for m. So if a line is vertical and passes through point AB, then the equation of the line is given by x equals a. This is what we want to use for all vertical lines. So since it's a vertical line and I have point AB where a is equal to 8 and b is equal to -9, all I have to do then is write the equation as x equals a, which is x equals 8. So here's the equation of the line. And since the variable term is on the left and the constant is on the right, it's already in the standard form. And that would complete this video.